Hey guys, ElJammi here, and today I want to show you just a little something special with Wojooh, which is my signature makeup look right here. So if you guys would like to know how to achieve this look, then keep watching. So first I'm gonna prep my skin, and for that the first product that I'm gonna use is Cosmetics Mist Fried Hydrating Facial Mist. Now I always like to use something like a spray or something to hydrate my skin because I have a combined skin type. So I have oily T-zones and then dry areas right here. So this would definitely help if you have some dry areas on your face. Next on, I'm gonna use Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. Now, I really like this product just because it can work also as a moisturizer or even a primer for your face routine. What I like to do is to take just a few drops. There is a little tip that I'm gonna show you guys right now. So what I like to do is just to put on a little bit of these drops onto my hand, heat it up because oil always works way better when you heat it up between your hands, and then I would just slightly tap it onto my skin just for that very nice glow. And also never forget about your neck because a lot of people neglect their necks even for the face routine, and that is no good. So now I'm just gonna give enough time for my face oil and for my face mist to properly get onto my skin and give a proper effect. I'm gonna do my eyebrows and my eyes and then get back onto my face routine. So now for my eyebrows, I'm going to use Brow Bar to Go by Cosmetics. Now this is in shade medium to ebony, and I always like to start with a lightest shade, and then if I need like a little bit of darkness somewhere around my bold areas on my eyebrows, then I go back with a darker shade and just apply it. So I'm gonna use this shade in the middle right here first, and then if I would need to go back and just fix my bold parts, I'm gonna go with a darker shade right here. Now for the final touch for my eyebrows, I'm going to use Wojooh by Wojooh Master Brow. And what I like about this product, that it has a very small and nice brush, so it's pretty easy to brush off even any excess of the product that you would have applied before, and it also makes your eyebrows really stick into place. So it's definitely a nice product for people that have bushy eyebrows like me. So now moving to my eyes, I'm going to first use Mosaic Madness Eyeshadow Mix Edition 2. And the first shade that I'm gonna use is this one right here, because I always like to apply like a white shadow just to kind of prep my eye for any other colors that I'm going to apply on top, because it's going to make the eyeshadow shades stand out. So this is the first shadow that I'm gonna use. And I also really like to get in these areas just because they're usually always the darkest ones. So make sure that you actually get into these areas properly and just white it out as well. Now I'm going to take another palette from Wojooh by Wojooh, and this is in Galactic Vibes, and just use this color right here as my first shade. And this is going to go into my crease just to start giving that base. So you can see once I apply the white shadow as my base, it makes any color really stand out. And I always apply my eyeshadow in a kind of like circular motions and buffing it onto my eye just to make sure. It's always really important that you don't have any sharp edges, especially at the end of your eye, because that does not look pretty. Now I'm going back to my first eyeshadow palette that I have used, and this is the shade that I'm going to use right now, which is also going to go onto my crease. So yet again, I'm just applying very tiny amount and working it onto my crease in a circular motions. Next on, I'm going to use this shade right here and apply it onto my eyelid. And when it comes to pigmented or textured shades, I always like to use my finger just because I feel like it gets more pigmented once you apply it with your finger and you have more control. Now I'm going to use mascara, and this is Curl Revolution from by Wojooh. Now the reason why I like this mascara because it has a super comfortable and already curled brush, so it's very easy to get into the small areas of your eyes without ruining your eyeshadows. So what I like to do when I apply mascara is just kind of look into one direction and pump my eyelashes up. So now is the time for the lashes, and this is Wojooh by Wojooh Lash Over Mink Collection, and this is in style on fleek. Look how cool are these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is the right size for my eye. This is the trick that I think a lot of people miss out on, and they say, oh, false lashes are uncomfortable. Well, the whole point is to make sure that the lash is exactly your, it will suit the size of your eyes. So usually I would just check like this, and I can already see that it's a little bit too big for my eyes. So I'm going to cut it and make sure that it's exactly for the size of my eyes. Now for my glue, I'm going to use Wojooh by Wojooh Lash Over Lash Glue. Now the good tip about applying false lashes is to kind of go upwards and sitting them down on top of your lash line. So never go like this or from the middle or from down. So just go upwards and sit your false lashes on top of your lashes. So now is the time to get back to my face, and now I'm going to use Wojooh by Wojooh Blur Base Primer. Now I like to use this primer only in the center of my face just because it blurs out perfectly any big pores that you have or any excess oil that you have on your face. So I would just apply here on my nose and a bit on my chin. And now is the time for my foundations. Now I'm going to mix both of these colors. This is Flawless Matte from Wojooh by Wojooh, and I really love these foundations just because it has such a full coverage. And for you to mix, if you don't have like a palette or anything to mix on, what you can do is just apply both shades on the back of your hand and then just mix it together. Now, I always like to apply a little bit of foundation on my neck as well because it is impossible for you to have the same shade of your face and your body. So you want to make sure that there is no sharp edges between any colors. Now, using a brush, I'm just going to buff the foundation onto my skin. Now, after I finish with all my creamy products, what I like to do is to quickly set my face, and for that, I'm using Master Finish Wojooh by Wojooh Translucent Powder. Now, it sets the face perfectly, especially the under eyes. So what I do is I actually use my Wet Beauty Blender to apply it under my eyes. And the angled side of this blender, I'm just getting onto my under eye. I always believe that this is the first area that you should blend just because it tends to crease the fastest. So basically what I'm doing is that I'm literally just setting the middle part of my face, because this is where you always have the excess oil coming out. Now I'm going to use this palette right here and start to contour my face. And what I like to do is to always mix different kind of shades whenever I contour my face. So I'm gonna take a little bit of both, tap out any excess, and just start contouring my cheekbones. Now this brush is actually super easy to use, especially if you're a beginner in makeup, because it kind of directs you in the right way of contouring your cheekbones and gives you that perfect line. And whenever you contour your face, try to always kind of go upwards, just because contour is supposed to give you that nice lifted look. So that's what I always do. I kind of always contour upwards. Always make sure to go around your hairline just so there's no sharp edges around it. I don't really like to contour my nose. What I usually do is just apply a very tiny amount right at the edge of my nose, just like that. And then the same thing I would do for my lips, just to add a little bit of a contour right here, just to give it a more powdered look. Now going back to the same palette, right now I'm going to use these two shades of a blush right here, and yet again I like to mix just a little, tap out any excess and just apply it right here. So I'm not applying it directly on my cheekbones. What I'm doing is that I'm kind of blending it together with my contour. Now going back to the same palette, I'm gonna use this highlighter right here, and I'm going to show you guys a little tip on how to make sure that your highlighter stands out, especially for daytime. You really want the sun to hit it and you just have that perfect glow. So I am going to take a fan brush and also setting spray, and this is Master Finish Oil-Free Makeup Fixer Spray from Wojooh by Wojooh. And what I'm going to do is spray a little bit of that spray onto my fan brush. Make sure it dries up just a little. And going to the palette, I'm just gonna take a bit of that highlighter with my wet brush and apply it. So you can see how fast the highlighter stands out, just because with the setting spray or when you use a wet brush, the pigmentation doubles up. And now I'm just gonna highlight a little bit, just the middle of my nose. Now what I also like to do is to highlight under my eyebrow, just to give it more of a clean look. So I'm only highlighting the middle of my eyebrow, and the same I'm gonna do right here. And this way your eyes will pop out and stand out. So you guys can see the difference. So I have done some of the highlighting around here, and then on this eye I still have nothing. And you can see how this eye really stands out. So now going to this eye, I'm just gonna do the same. Now moving to my lips, I'm going to use Wojooh Cosmetics lipstick, and this is in shade Nude. And finally, the last step is obviously setting your face, and I'm using one of my favorite setting sprays. This is Master Finish Oil-Free Makeup Fixer Spray from Wojooh by Wojooh. And what I like to do is to kind of first apply my setting spray on one side, dry it up quickly, and then do the same on the other side. And this will lock in your makeup for hours. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Now this is my signature look and you guys can wear it even for a day outing or for work or wherever you prefer. Now don't forget that all the products that I have used are exclusively available at Wojooh stores. So take care of yourself and I hope to see you soon.